Action.
Here we are, John. Callendorf, the town of my father, and his before that. I used to run up and down these streets, and when I was your age, so many adventures and misadventures.
It looks just like the last place.
A world's worth of trouble and promise all in one beautiful small town.
It's pretty dingy.
Although I guess it's more of a big town now. Might even be considered a city. So much has changed.
Dirty.
The buildings are much taller than I remember.
They're also pretty dirty.
You think they'd get smaller as I got taller?
Well, they didn't get thinner as you got wider.
Hey now! I guess you've got a point, though. It has been many years since I climbed up any of the great mountains, but make no mistake, I may have put on a few pounds, but your father is still a formidable man with the keenest eye in all of Europe.
Just like Callendorf is still a beautiful, tiny little mountain town.
John! Would you believe the Klaroff Glacier to be another sun trapped in the ice? Would you believe I were a king if I threw on a fur cloak and a crown of brass? Would you believe only what a first glance can tell you?
Apparently you would.
What do you mean?
Well, first off, fat old mountain climber, this is not Callendorf.
What are you talking about? Of course it's Callendorf. We came up the road from Faustin over the Breck Pass. I know these hills and valleys as well as I know the curve of my own son's face.
Well, even if you did come from Faustin,
And over the Breck Pass.
that still wouldn't make this Callendorf.
But I was born in Callendorf. All my forefathers died and were buried there. It is my dream to spend the winter of my years there, to watch my son grow into a man, father a child of his own, and bury me in Callendorf, alongside my father and his.
Well, you can still have all that, old man. You just can't call it Callendorf. It's Altdorf now.
Altdorf?
By order of the Royal House of Habsburg and the Prince Gessler of Austria.
But we aren't in Austria, we're in Uri of the Swiss Confederacy, I at least know that.
Well, you feel free to remind Prince Gessler of that, or remind his hat, right after you bow to it.
Bow to his hat? That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous or not, it's the law and you'll do it.
I will not.
You will, or we will take you and your father to the prince.
Fat, your craven, coward prince can kiss my fat ass. I can still bend the prow of my crossbow with my own two hands, and I'll set the skill against any that would dare challenge the merit and might of this man of Uri. And any man who moves against me will be more cleanly pierced than any trumped-up, silly prince's pole-sitting hat.
Fine by me. We'll just take order of your pipsqueak son here. Consider your son lucky. The prince is firm but not cruel, and he doesn't execute the children.
Luck indeed.
He'll probably just keep him in the prison for the rest of his days. The prince may occasionally let him out to empty chamber pots around the castle, or keep the boy skinny so he can tumble and entertain at parties. It will be a long, difficult life, ending in cold misery. But you, well, the prince will probably just kill you himself.
I'd like to see him try.
You don't look like much of a match.
Would you believe what a first glance can tell you?
Well, I can hardly believe my eyes. William Tell, famed the world over for unmatched marksmanship and endurance beyond that of any plow horse. As I live and breathe, you have returned to your ancestral home and now shall defend it as one of my men against all Austria's enemies.
I have returned home, but it is not as I remember it.
Things do change, but your name alone is still strong enough to give any rabble-rousing rebels a second thought before they question my rule. Come, we will have a feast set. Have a seat at my table and tell me of your travels. I must confess, I may have invaded this dung heap of a town with just the hope that I might one day meet you.
And if you had known, you might have feared this day.
Excuse
Your
me?
God has arrested my son. I demand justice.
What's this about?
You refuse to bow to your hat, your excellence. By your royal decree, I follow the letter of the law.
Ah, well done then, God. What to do? We shall find a way to sort this out. Children, eh? They don't understand due process and respect for one's superiors. But what can one do? What one must, I suppose. A few lashings and he'll be returned to you, great hero.
You will not lay a hand on me.
I am a prince of Austria and I shall do as I like.
Callendorf has no prince. It is ruled by its people and it is defended by its heroes.
There is no Kalendorf. Its people are subjugated, and its heroes have all withered.
Its people still have me.
As I said, withered. At any rate, we shall see.
Father!
Father! Boo-hoo! Is this what the men of Kalendorf are now? Small crying children and round-old men. There are none to stand against the might of Austria!
And yet here I stand.
Be careful, Your Grace.
What?
Tell still Ames true. It was him who shot their hat from the pole, sir.
Ah, is that so? Damn, I like that hat. At any rate, how about a demonstration then? Fire true once more, man of Kalendorf. Shoot this apple from your son's head, and I will spare you both. Miss, and I will only kill your son. Your failure will give me peace that you are no true threat.